All right, let's talk about one more time the key to stopping the run, because there's so many different facets to stopping the run. And I think what Kyle Shanahan is trying to say is it's not just one thing. It's not like Chase Young not setting an edge. I mean, it's all kind of problems. So let's be real systematic about it, starting with the front. We talked about how the wide nine's kind of weak against the front, but just let's talk about box count. Box count. A lot of times Steve Wilkes will play 2 deep safeties and he'll play 7 in the box because he doesn't want to give up the throw deep. Well, picture a formation in your mind. 5 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, 7 blockers against 7 defenders. It's a hat on a hat. There's no one unblocked. So if you think about it, 7 guys in the line, there's 8 gaps. Count it. There's 8 gaps, 7 guys in the line. The running back's going to find a gap. Or someone in that front 7 is going to have to be playing 2 gaps at once. You call it 2 gapping. Someone has to do it. It's not easy to do. So so if you want to be better against the run, and you don't even have great players, you bring the safety down, you bring the unblocked defender down, and all of a sudden you have a numbers advantage against the run. That's a big one. But then beyond that, it's also effort and hustle, which the Niners have been dealing with as well. Like Deshaun Gibson not running that hard, or Chase Young not pursuing from the backside. All that stuff goes into account.
And angles. You need to have the right pursuit angles too. And the swarming to the ball. And part of that's effort. He's got it. No. Everybody go to the ball. Stop it.
That's right. Which is what they did under D'Amico.
Yeah. The effort was always there every play under D'Amico. And it's not as consistent now, which is a real concern.
Here's another thing. When you go 12 personnel, 13 personnel, you put the Niners in base. Their third linebacker is Oren Burks. He ain't Azeez Al-Shaair. And if you go back and look at the all-22 of some of David Montgomery's big runs between the tackles, a lot of times it's Oren Burks out of a gap.
Right.
He's a special teams guy. And the Niners are, the league became very much, it's a nickel. It's an 11 personnel league. It's a nickel league. It's slower. It's smaller. It's faster. It's your nickel on the field. It's 2 linebackers. Nah, that third linebacker is going to matter in this game. And it's Oren Burks.
Part of the problem with Burks is that as a special teamer, it's just about your effort and running hard to get there. You don't have to shed blocks. And I think that's one of the real key. Yeah. And one of the real keys for the Niners is they have to get off of their blocks in this game. That's part of how you stop Pacheco. And I'm worried about that from a fundamental perspective of, does Burks do a good job of that now? And so what do you do to get around it? I think you're going to have to run blitz. You're going to have to show a 5-man front. You're going to have to do everything you possibly can. But part of this is personnel, too. It's just you don't have the guys. You don't have that third linebacker. You don't have that DB that can stop the run and shut down outside. You
don't have that strong safety that you had last year in Talanoa Funga.
Right, and you don't have Talanoa. And so it's just, how do you overcome that? And I think you're going to have to take the blows. But what you can't afford to do is just get out there in base and then Pacheco kills you. You have to stop the run. That's an absolute. And
right. So you could put 5 on the line. You could put 8 in the box. You could put 5 in the line. You could put 8 in the box, and that'll do that. You'll be respectable against the run, no matter who you have out there. But as long as everyone in their right gaps. But now you're really vulnerable against the pass, and it's Patrick Mahomes. So we'll see if Lenore and Ward can hang up, can hold up on islands. That's this game's gonna come down to.
But it's pick your poison. Which one do you have more faith in? I would have a lot more faith in Ward and Lenore doing a great job man up than the run defense succeeding in wide 9.
Ward on Valdez Scantling and Lenore on Rashee Rice. That's the matchup.
Yeah.
And
if Mahomes goes deep and beats you, okay. But
I think Valdez Scantling beat Ward for like a 57-yard catch in 2022. And people say Ward was coming off a groin injury. Okay. Well, guy's got speed. He can run right by you. He's fast.
He can, but I think that Javarius Ward has had an upgrade in his ability and his technique under Wilkes. He's a better player than he was then.
It's a good point. It's a great point. Bull Uppercutter says, why nobody asking about Brock saying Kyle wanted Tom Brady? That's a good point. Yeah. But Kyle knew that Brock was the best, but he wanted Tom Brady too. Aaron Russell says thoughts on Ward. I personally feel this year he's been crushing it. I was not that impressed before this year. He left this before you said this, so he anticipated your thought. But there you go. He's doing a great job.
Yeah,
and really, I think that's been Steve Wilkes' best impact on the defense. The impact he's had on Lenore, Ward, those two. But
that's his expertise.
Yep.
Is that he can take and elevate the games of your secondary. Ambry has improved. Ward has improved. Lenore has improved. And it helps to have that. Defensive coordinators in the past have been linebacker guys. Now you've got a DB specialist, and it helps. But you still have to adapt to what's necessary to stop the run.
This run defense really misses Azeez Al-Shaair and Samson Ebukam. Those two guys were really, really strong against the run. And in both cases, the Niners didn't try to replace him. Maybe, you could say Cleveland Farrell was a nod to Samson Ebukam, that kind of edge setter, but they just rolled with the special teamer at the third linebacker and said, that position doesn't matter so much anymore.
Well, all of this adds up. It's part of the theme of this Super Bowl is that there's players missing. And part of it comes from the Trey Lance trade. You missed all those picks. Plus the McCaffrey trade, you give all those picks up too. I would make that trade in a heartbeat, but there's a cost, and the cost is on the defense.
Right, and you could pretend that the Niners traded all those picks for Brock Purdy if you want. They went into the quarterback position. You could say that. And now the quarterback position's a strength. So you put all those resources into quarterback and running back, great. Those positions are solidified somehow, some way you got there. They better carry this team. This is an offensive team now because that defense got holes in it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can fill them in the draft, but we'll see.
In retrospect, it's kind of quaint to look back to, what was it, mid-October, and think that Chase Young was going to fix everything. Like, knowing what we know about him now? No. This is bigger than Chase.
He's a third down pass rush specialist. That's it.
Can we call him? His name is Jog Young, isn't it? It's Jog. It's not Chase. It's Jog.
Shuffle Young.
It's Jog or Shuffle or